Hi, you guys. Welcome to day 2 of your gut restoration program. If you are a Gutsy Health member and you're not doing the program, you might find this interesting anyway, so please feel free to listen along. But today we cut out grains. What constitutes a grain? It's oftentimes grains. Wheat, oats, all that kind of stuff. For some reason, I can't even think of all the grains. Barley, all of those. Is corn a grain? No, corn is actually considered a vegetable, but it's actually a very starchy vegetable, which is why I don't recommend people eating it throughout this program. Now, it is prep week, and so you can eat corn this week if you want. If you want to take it the extra step, don't eat corn. Why are we cutting out grains? Why are we cutting out corn this program? Why are we cutting out starchy foods? Well, starch is a type of sugar that is easily broken down by bacteria. And so bad bacteria loves starch. It thrives off of it. So many of us doing this program have either gassiness or upset stomach or painful digestion or indigestion. We're bloated at the end of the day. That's because of bad bacteria, and that bad bacteria is feeding off of highly processed sugars, highly processed foods, starchy foods like corn. So you're not going to see a lot of potatoes on this plan. There might be like 1 or 2, but you're going to see that simple carbohydrate foods are not here. Again, because bacteria loves it. And so another reason why we are, so that's corn, but why are we cutting out grains? Well, most of the time grains are very, they're very high caloric foods with very little nutrient density. So what is this program all about? Kathy, I'm so glad you love the info. Thank you. So why do we cut out the grains? Because of that, because we are trying to get the biggest bang for our buck as far as food goes. So grains are what I like to call power foods. Vegetables are healing foods. And so what is this program all about? It's all about healing. So we're getting rid of the power foods and we're adding the healing foods. We only have a month, and we're trying to do as much damage control as possible. And that damage has been happening for many people, years, decades even. And so that's why the grains have got to go, because we need to make space for healing foods. We want to fill up on healing foods. Grains as well are very starchy. They convert into sugar, and then bad bacteria just feeds off of that. So that's why grains are cut out day 2. It's probably the hardest one to cut out. If you are starving and you don't know what to eat, I'm okay with quinoa. Quinoa is a seed, so feel free to eat some quinoa, you guys. Get a bunch of it, cook it up if you want. Pretend it's like rice. This knowledge helps me stay on track because I'm learning the why. Yes, understanding the why makes it so much more motivating. So I'm so glad you said that. Another thing I want to mention about grains, the farming practices are horrendous, you guys. Most of you know that wheat is drenched in glyphosate because glyphosate is used as a desiccant to help harvest it. And so what is glyphosate? It is technically an antibiotic, but it's a weed killer. And what does it do? It actually disrupts the organism's ability to utilize minerals. So it strips the organism, being weeds, it strips the weeds of minerals. So they're spraying that on the fields, they're spraying that on your food. So it's stripping your foods of minerals, but then we're ingesting that as well. So it is literally from our gut onward, it is stripping our tissues of minerals. And that's how weeds die. So what is happening to weeds is actually happening to our GI tract, which is not good, which is why a lot of people have leaky gut, autoimmune issues, IBS, because that tissue is not healing and regenerating and replenishing because we're eating glyphosate tainted foods that are stripping our tissues of healing nutrients and minerals. And minerals are so important, you guys. So those are the big whys for day 2 for this prep week. Grains are going to be your hardest bad guy to get rid of because they are so yummy. They are so filling. They convert to sugar, and our brain knows that. Our brain knows that. Our bad bacteria loves it. And part of this process is starving out the bad bacteria and refeeding the good bacteria, because what you feed breeds. So we're starving bad guys and we're breeding good guys. And what breeds good guys? Complex carbohydrates, like vegetables, like seeds, chia, flax. That's why flax or chia is, well, mostly flax, is always in the green smoothies, because those fibers are so good for your cells, so good for your GI tract. In fact, your colonocytes, and I think I've mentioned this in one of the videos, the training videos, your colonocytes, they thrive off of this type of fiber from flax seeds, so the ground flax seeds, right? So that's why that's in there. Everything has been perfectly designed, or I've tried to cover every single base to help your guts heal and to get rid of any kind of inflammatory things that could be there. So no starchy foods like potatoes and corn, and cutting out grains. But again, if you are eating corn this week, that's okay. Starting next week with the full-on meal plan, there's not going to be any corn in there, you guys. So if you want to have your last hurrah with corn, that's okay. Just don't go too crazy, please. If you want to, another part of this process, you guys, is the mental aspect too. So if cutting out corn this week is going to stress you out completely, let's just wait. Again, that is why I called it prep week, because we want to ease into this gently. When we just dive straight in and we're like, I'm going to do this, day 3, everyone's freaking out. So you got to kind of ease into this program gently. And so that's why I planned it like that. So thanks for listening. That's a little bit of 101 on carbs and grains and starchy foods and bad bacteria in your gut that we're trying to starve. So happy Tuesday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow because we're cutting out dairy. That is my hardest one. I can't lie. I love butter. Love it. And I love raw milk. So that one's going to be really, really hard for me. So see you guys tomorrow.